Welcome to Sports on the Go, episode 5. Today we got Ecom Agninam coming in from Canada. Ecom, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing good. You?
I'm doing fine. Today we're not going to be talking about the NBA, but we're going to be talking about soccer or football, as you may call it. First, we're going to start off talking about the Premier League that just finished up, and we all know Liverpool came out on top. But I want to talk to Ecom about Chelsea because we know Ecom's a big Chelsea fan. So, Ecom, how would you grade their season with all the talent they had, with Pulisic rising up? We know they benched him quite a few games, and he saved them in a couple really important games. So, what do you think about Chelsea? How would you grade their season?
For Chelsea's season, like on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably go like a 7. Because I thought that the expectations this year was pretty low because we lost our best player,
Yeah,
new manager. We had a transfer ban, meaning that we couldn't buy any players. So
yeah,
basically, we had to use like almost 8 academy players.
yeah,
So this was like their first season. So I mean, nobody really expected us to finish in the top 4, top 5. I mean, people were saying, "Oh yeah, Chelsea finished 6th, 7th."
yeah,
But for Frank Lampard in his first season, he did pretty well. We started off well.
yeah,
Obviously we lost our first game against Manchester United 4-0. Then after that, we went on like a 7-game winning streak, and everybody was like really excited.
yeah,
The ceiling was kind of high for Chelsea. Then obviously the inconsistency started creeping in.
yeah,
We started losing games we shouldn't be losing. But then like I kept telling people that it's normal. Our team is really, really young, new manager. I mean, it was supposed to happen. Then obviously the lockdown happened, and then
yeah.
I think that's the best thing that really happened to Chelsea because like 4 months off, big break, 8 or 10 more games to go, and then we just kind of like killed it. Obviously we lost some games, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think we ended off well, except for the FA Cup we lost. But I mean,
What players are you looking forward to taking that next step? Like being an American, I really like Christian Pulisic. I think he had a great year, especially coming off the
yeah.
bench and scoring quite a few goals and really playing well for Chelsea as a bench player or a starter, however he played. What do you think of Pulisic, and what other players on the team do you think are going to make that next big step to becoming a star?
Yeah, so basically Pulisic, I mean, we got him last year from Dortmund, and he's been undoubtedly our best player this season. Apart from William, he's probably been our best player this season, best young player this season.
Yeah,
His output, the amount of goals. I just love the way he drives into the box. I mean, it's most defenders can't really deal with him. He's so good, really explosive. I mean, especially after the restart, he's been
yeah,
absolutely he's killed it. I mean, the game against Liverpool, everybody knows, 4-1 down. The way he
yeah.
just single-handedly just took the game by the scruff of the neck. I mean, he's been amazing.
I was watching that game live, and that was one of the first times where I realized like Pulisic is going to be a star. Like he came in, he scored a goal, had an assist, and I think he's really talented and he's going to be really good in the future.
Yeah, for
Now,
sure. I mean, yeah,
like talking about other teams in the Premier League, which
yeah.
team which team next year do you think is going to be better than they were this year? Like which team do you think is going to win the Premier League? Do you think it's going to be Liverpool again? Do you think Chelsea's going to take that next big step? Do you think Man U, Man City?
So okay, so next year I believe that Man City's gonna win it.
Okay.
I mean, you see the signings they've already made. I mean, they obviously need a defender. They got it. I
Yep.
mean, they got that Fernando Torres dude. He looks
Yep.
good. I've seen him play before. I mean, yeah, and they're definitely they're linked to guys like Koulibaly. Yeah, they're
Yep.
for sure. I mean, Pep isn't. They're not gonna mess up this year like they did. Uh, they're not gonna mess up next year like they did this year for sure.
Yeah, no, I really like the way that Man City looks, and I think they are likely to win the Premier League next season. Talking about the Champions League now, we all know that the second leg fixtures are going to be played today for some of the games, and some teams being eliminated, like Juventus as a surprise, Ronaldo since first time since 2010, failing to make it past the round of 16. So,
Yeah.
if you're a Juventus fan, are you disappointed with what happened, or did you kind of expect that to happen? Because you all know Juventus had a very inconsistent season. They did not end Serie A well. They had lost multiple games and drawn to teams that they should be beating easily. So is it concerning for Juventus to lose this early to Lyon? Or because we all know Dybala didn't start in that game. So do you think Juventus can win Serie A again next year and come back to Champions League and perhaps win?
No, I don't think so. I think they just sacked their manager today.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know. Juventus is kind of weird. I don't know. They at the start of the season, people really rated Juventus really highly
Yeah.
for some reason, but I never did. Because as much as good as their attack is, I still don't think they really have that midfield structure. Yeah, they have like guys like Pjanic
Yeah.
and Tweedy, but I just don't think their midfield or even like they don't even have a very good right back. They're playing Quadrado out of position, stuff like that. I don't really rate their goalie.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a couple of holes to fix. I mean, obviously they're gonna lose Pjanic. He's going to Barcelona. I mean, they have a couple of holes to fix for me. And yeah,
Yeah, I
and
think our attack is really special, but everywhere else there's definitely some holes they need to cover.
for sure, yeah. I think next year, I'd go with Inter Milan probably to win the Serie A next year.
Wow.
Sure.
Okay. Well, and then moving on to the Champions League. Again,
Yeah.
if another question about this is who do you think is going to take it home now? Which team is most likely? I think a lot of people like Bayern to win it all. They're going to be playing your Chelsea, and Bayern's been
Yep.
playing really well lately. So I mean, most people are expecting Bayern to go deep. But which team do you think is going to take home Champions League this year?
Yeah, for me, I think there's three teams. For me, I've got to go Bayern. Obviously, this squad is just
Yep.
amazing, really. Then you've got to go Man City, and then you've got to go Atletico Madrid. That's a surprise package because everybody's sleeping on Atletico. The way they defend, for me, once you beat Liverpool, you have to be in contention because obviously Liverpool won it last year. So once you beat Liverpool, they're for sure in contention. So yeah, for me, those three teams.
Yeah, I think Atletico Madrid is a surprise, and I'm surprised you said that. But I think, yeah, as soon as you beat a team like Liverpool, who's been really good all year, it really starts to open some people's eyes, thinking like, okay, maybe they are contenders to win Champions League.
Yeah,
Now
for
moving
sure.
on to Barcelona, we all know Messi now. Barcelona did not have the season they really wanted to have. Uh,
Yeah.
they struggled in certain points, and they went on some really bad runs. So we all know Ronaldo has won in multiple leagues. He's won in Serie A. He won in La Liga. He played in the Premier League. But Messi's really stayed in La Liga. Do you think it's time for Messi to move on from Barcelona, find another place and win somewhere else? Or do you think it's going to happen? Do you think he will leave? Or do you think it's all talk and it's really not going to happen?
I don't think he'll leave. Because I don't know where's he gonna go. You feel me? So
Yeah.
I think Messi's that type of guy. He's just gonna even if he has a bad season, he's still gonna try and ride it out. You feel me? So I don't see. I mean, even the destinations, I don't see where he could go. So
Yeah.
I think Messi's staying till he retires at Barca. Well, until he gets to the age where it's like, okay, I can't really do much anymore. So I think he's gonna stay at least 3, 4 more years.
Yeah, and I really can't see Messi playing anywhere else. Like we just have the picture. As soon as you hear Messi, you hear Barcelona.
Yeah,
But I think it's really disappointing for Barcelona because with all the talent they have, they brought in Griezmann. They have Suarez, Messi. Their attack is really phenomenal. Like, I mean,
yeah.
definitely one of the best attacks in all of football. But what do you think their biggest problem is? What can they fix? Because clearly they struggled in some points this year. But they have PK in the back. They
Yeah.
have Rakitic. But where can they get better?
I think the defense hasn't been great this season. I would say from the games I've watched.
Yeah,
Um, their one of their defenders, Umtiti, he's been injured all year. I think that's been a problem. Secondly, I don't rate their coach. Their
yeah,
coach is just their last two coaches. I just don't. There's no system in place for Barcelona to succeed. That's it's all. It's kind of like basketball. You know
yeah,
when you're playing basketball, I just kind of ISO.
yeah.
I know it's nothing like that in soccer, but when I watch Barca, I just think of is they're playing one way, and that's to Messi, and that's
Yeah.
the problem because their previous manager, I forgot his name, but when they had Messi, Suarez, Neymar,
Yeah.
you could see that those three, there was a system around them that worked. That's why they scored so many goals. Um, like Neymar knew where to be all the time. Suarez knew where to be. They worked so well together. Like the system benefited all three of them. But
Yeah.
when I look at their attack, especially Griezmann. Griezmann is the type of player. That's why I said Griezmann to Barca was always a bad move. He should have stayed at Atletico Madrid because at Atletico Madrid, the system Simeone played, it's like they built the team around him. You feel me?
Exactly.
So it was all around him.
Yeah.
When you go to Barcelona, the team isn't built around him. So he's gonna have to work a lot off the ball, on the ball. So it's not built around. It's built around Messi. So Griezmann has to change his playing style to Messi and
Exactly.
the team, which is a problem. It's the same thing that's happened with Eden Hazard.
Yep.
Hazard thought that since because he was the man at Chelsea,
Yep.
everything went through him, that he was easily gonna come to Real Madrid, and he was, that's not gonna happen. You have Benzema,
Yeah.
you have Bale. Okay, Bale's not playing. You have other superstars, so you're gonna have to change your game.
Yep.
Zidane hasn't played to his strengths at all. That's why against Man City, he was a ghost. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
If they can get like a system that benefits Griezmann, especially because Griezmann hasn't scored that much goals this
Yeah, I know
season.
he's had a really down year this year.
Yeah. So if they can get a system that actually benefits Griezmann, like he was at Atletico, I think Barca, yeah, they do really well next season. But until they do that, I can see them struggling next season for sure.
And I agree. I think with the chemistry they have right now, it just doesn't fit, and they really need to find a way to bring in other players, a new system to really benefit Griezmann, because Griezmann, we all know, is a really great soccer player. So finding a way to get him better and to have a bounce back season next year. And lastly, before we go, in a minute, tell me, I think a lot of people, this debate's going on for a long time. Would you rather have, if you were starting a franchise today, would you take Messi or would you take Ronaldo?
So basically, it's how I answer this. On a preference point, I'm gonna go Messi, just because I think that the moments of magic he can produce is, I mean, it's just crazy. But if I was being serious and like I had to start a franchise and I want to win, obviously, you want to win the Champions League, you want to win the league,
Yep.
you've got to go with Ronaldo because his output is just way better than. It's not way better, but
Yeah.
it's better than Messi. But me, I prefer Messi because he's my favorite player
Yeah.
of all time. I think he's the best player of all time. But if I wasn't like biased, I gotta go Ronaldo just because his output level is just it's crazy. You saw the goal he scored yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Really.
That's what goats do. You know, they take it and they just do that. So
And he did it himself, even though they didn't move on. He scored a penalty and a really freakish goal. So I mean,
yeah, that was freaky.
Ronaldo is my favorite player, and I think he's the GOAT, and that's with bias. I mean, I would start a franchise with Ronaldo. I just think, it's crazy the things he can do on the field, and I think his duo with him and Dybala is going to be really dangerous for the next coming seasons. I think it's going to be
for
fun
sure.
to watch. But I want to thank you, Ecom, for getting on Sports on the Go today, and thanks for all your input on our first soccer episode. And I'm sure we'll have you back sooner or later to talk about the Champions League. But thank you, and we'll see you all next time.